When we first arrived in Portugal, life was pretty comfortable. We were renting a house and taking our time. But just 1 month later, we bought our own farm. And there was no toilet, no shower, and not even a proper bedroom. So while builders were working to create rooms inside, we were outside building and figuring out how to arrange the basics. Because it didn't stop there. We also had no real way to heat the house properly, and we needed to change and insulate the front of our house. So before anything else, we had to install a pellet heater and a wood burner just to make the place livable, because at that point it wasn't about building the dream yet, it was about making the house usable, especially during the winter period. We had a lot of rain and it was the wettest winter in 30 years. But now, 6 months later, we've got solar power, we've got 180 fruit trees, and we're starting our off-grid water system. And we have a completely different life than we had back in Holland.
Welcome to our farm. Let's take a look what we've done the last 6 months. This is the area where we want to create a screened-in porch, and that's the roof will be connected to the house and go all the way up here. And the poles you see standing over there, that will be a metal construction, and the guys that did the amazing work on the inside will also do the work on the outside with the screened-in porch. We're very sorry for the wobbling footage we've made when we started filming, but also on that part we've learned a lot. So when this is the screened-in porch, that would also mean that this is our view from our screened-in porch. So when we're sitting over here, we will have this view. And hopefully with this weather, of course. But I think the view is amazing. And that's the same over here. This will not be a screened-in porch, but this will be a garage for our car. And these wooden poles mark the spot where the metal pillars will come. And then we will cover the top, and eventually we will create some walls. So we have a garage for our car. And over there, you can already see a big difference. That is the spot where our solar panels are. And this is the biggest pear tree we have. And when we bought this farm, it had branches all the way up there. But as you can clearly see, the roads needed to come there. So this is the first tree we pruned. And I've showed you before that we had a lot of blossoming in it, and that is slightly starting to change into pears. So we're very pleased by that. And a fun fact I didn't know is that the flowers from the blossoming are the end of the pear we always have. So, well, if you didn't know that just like me, then you've learned something now. And of course our vegetable garden where we spend a lot of time in. We've planted some new trees. We created raised beds. 3 of them are filled. The 4th one, slightly bigger, needs to be done. And up there we have the solar panels and obviously the soon-to-be bushes at the edge of it. And over there you already see something, and I will show you that later on. But behind that we have the compost bin, of course, and also the start of our off-grid water system. And of course the trench we had over here for, well, a couple of weeks, couple of months I guess. So as said, this is the area where we did the most in these last 6 months. Obviously outside, because inside we did a lot more. Well, the builders did a lot more. And over here we have a greenhouse, we have a shed, we have the battery house for our off-grid solar setup, which is connected with a red hose through the trench that is now closed, that goes underneath the staircase, and of course to the solar panels. And the other thing you see right here is this thing, and that's our outdoor shower. And at the back of the pole you see some black, and that's that's a solar panel, or well, at least there's solar in it, and that heats up the water. So that means that we have approximately 10 minutes of warm water, and then it needs to reheat again for 2 hours, so you can have another 10-hour shower. And as we are with just me and my wife, and during the winter we will have our shower in our home, but for now this is our shower. And from up here we go past the fig tree and past the cork trees, and of course past the well we have. But now first a sidestep to the wettest winter we had in Central Portugal since approximately 30 years. And some say that the wettest month we had this year was the wettest month they had in 40 to 50 years. So you can imagine that the amount of rain that came down was extremely rare. And now it's time to go back to the well. And over there you already see something, but we'll get there later on. And also regarding the truck, And here around the well, nothing changed that much. Well, the grass is a little bit higher, so I need to trim that. And over here we had a clementine tree, but there was a lot of shade around it, so therefore it didn't produce that many fruits. So we've replanted it. And you can see it through here. So here we go to our well and the reservoir. What I can tell you, well, is one that I need to cut the roses out, but is that we want to keep this old metal structure in its original form, but we also want to cover the well, so that's something for the future. But we also want to install a pump to get the water into the reservoir, but also towards the two IBCs we have over there. And the clementine we moved from the well to its new location is standing over there. Way more sun, so that's good. And over here you see the other side of our vegetable garden. And over here, here, approximately, we will place some new raised beds. And my father-in-law also made a design for a seedling greenhouse slash table. We want to build multiple of them, but that will be during the autumn, I think. And we will start with one, and eventually we want 2, 3, maybe 4. So that's something we keep in mind when we place the raised beds here right behind me. And also obviously with the trees, because this is a lemon tree and that should provide some shade. Well, you can imagine that this one doesn't provide that much shade, but eventually it will. So therefore we planted at the location is standing right now. So in the future it will provide the raised beds or the things that my father-in-law will build. Well, designed, sorry. I will build them. We will build them ourselves, but that he designed. So we have some shade instead of the burning heat of the sun during the summer, which we still need to experience because, well, we're just here now for 6 months. So the hottest months need to come, but we want to prepare the garden for in the future. And over there you already saw the stairs, or I think it's better to call it the steps, because it's just 4 steps up and then you are on our next terrace. And there's one stone with an inscription on it. It is, I think it is RP 1931. I have no clue what it means, but we found it in the ground over here, so we want to preserve a little bit of the history. We want the things that we find, we want to use them, and especially when we find those bigger rocks, we want to use them, and we have plenty of purpose of them. And especially if there's some sort of an inscription, then we want to preserve it and we'll reuse it. So therefore it's over there. I've no clue what it means. If someone else, some of you guys know what it means, please let me know. But for now it's just on the stairs for the next terrace. And we want to create a walking path from the solar panels through the blueberries, because that one and that one is blueberry, down the stairs, through the vegetable garden, up until the road we have over there, and of course the battery house. And next to the stairs we have this almond tree, and when we bought the farm it looked like this, and now it looks like this. So that looks great. And what also is great is that the first almonds are growing on this tree. So we're very pleased with that. And from this almond tree, we go to the stairs, to the steps. And then we had this trench. And from over here, we go to that corner. And I've been creating the compost bin. And this is the end result. And as you might remember, this is how it looked before. I've also been planting a small lime tree. So this is how the area looks now. And over there you see the truck we have. And we're very pleased with it because now we can get our own supplies much easier. We can get our wood, we can get our metal, but we also can collect our own sand or gravel or whatever we need. So that's great. And the other thing is, of course, every November we have the olive harvest. And instead of doing it with my own car, I can now load everything into the back of the truck and drive to the lagar to get our olive oil. So that's just amazing. And up here we have two IBCs. Each IBC can hold up to 1000 liters of water. So this is the start of our own off-grid irrigation system. And the idea is to connect these two outlets with each other and put the irrigation system to the new trees. So just by the gravity and by some irrigation system and pipes, we can provide a big part of the land with water. And over there we have our well. So the idea is to install a pump over there, get the water out of the well into the IBCs and let the gravity do its work and make sure our land and our trees are provided with water. Because watering the trees costs me an hour every day or every other day. Because this is the area where we planted the most trees. Starts with that lime tree. Then we have the kumquat, we have the strawberry tree. And over there we have some younger trees. We have the soon-to-be bushes. And down the stairs we have the vegetable garden with the lime tree, with the cherry trees, with the pecan nuts. So all in all, most of our younger trees are situated relatively close to the IBCs, so that's great. And therefore also it will make our life or my life a lot easier if we can just automate the watering. So that's something for the near future. And we also did something in the vegetable garden. We installed some sprinklers in the raised beds, and we also planted some sprinklers around the land, but that's something for another video, not for this one. So yeah, hopefully that spares us a lot of time. So that's great. And if we are very happy with the way things work, we will make it permanent and we will make sure that that is in the ground, because well, with this sun, with this heat, we can change the hoses every year, I guess, if we let them just on the ground. So we're not going to do that, but for now it's a temporary solution. But again, that's something for one of the next videos. And one of the things we learned is that you need to harvest the cork from the trees, because the bugs go into the tree and they will eat the tree from within, and the cork pushes them out. So if you do not harvest the cork, there's no new cork coming out, so the bugs will not be pushed out. But the thing is, we don't know when the harvest of the cork was done, so we also don't know when we need to do it. Because normally there is some sort of a number, well, normally, but in the area, normally there is a number written on it, and that indicates when it's done the last time they've told me. But on this one, we don't have that. Well, on ours, we don't have that. So if any one of you guys know how to figure that out, or can recommend someone that can take a look at it, it will be much appreciated. And otherwise we will look in the area, because I can't imagine we cannot find someone on our own. But well, we just didn't have the time to figure it out yet. And from our beautiful cork trees, we go to our beautiful almond trees. And from the almond trees, we go to that part of the homestead. And I will do that with the time lapse, because over here nothing has changed. Almond tree still dead. So up to the first tree we've planted. And as you might remember, the first tree we've planted was at the end of December. And that was this hazelnut tree. And well, that's the first tree we've planted. So it has a special place in our heart, and it's growing very nice. So we're very happy about it. And over there we have our second hazelnut tree. So they can pollinate each other and support each other with getting fruits. And from here we go to our biggest olive tree. Which I've been told that it is at least 300-400 years old. Someone said 1,000 years old. Well, I don't know about that, but I also don't know a way to figure out how old a tree is, except cutting it down and count the rings. But well, you can imagine we're not gonna do that. So, and I need to prune the figs, because I really like figs. I'm not the smallest guy, but I think this is 6 meters, something like that. So you can imagine that I'm not gonna pick all those. So we need to prune it, better for the tree, and it makes no sense to have a fig tree of 6 meters high. But I told you we're going to the oldest olive tree we have, and here it is. It needs to be pruned. There's way too much branches and leaves in the middle, but that's something for next year. We will do the olive harvest in November, and after that we will give them a nice pruning. They need it and they deserve it. But isn't this a beauty? And then we'll move a little further to the corner of our land where the water stays, where the water stayed for the longest period of time, and also the grass is higher over there than everywhere else on land, because well, it had plenty. Because this is how this area looks, and yeah, it is completely overgrown at some places. And over here we have used the tractor to mow the grass, but there's still some things in there. I don't know what it is, but I need to figure that out. And then we will mow this part, and this part will be done by the push mower or the strimmer. So yeah, that's definitely a job for next week. But well, we're still very happy with this orange tree. It's doing great, and they're starting to grow some oranges. Well, the start of it, so that's good. And up here we have the view from this part of the homestead. And over here we didn't change that much yet. Over there you see the metal pillars and metal beams for the screened-in porch and the garage. They will start building that next week or the week after. And for this part, well, to be honest, this entire part, we have big plans. But this video is not about the big plans we have for the future. It's about 6 months progress on the homestead. So here we are again at the back or the side of our house. I don't actually know, because the front door is on the opposite wall of this one. So that should mean that this is the back of our house. But well, if you look from the land, it's the side of our house. So we're still debating on that one. And over here, obviously, they will start the framework for the screened-in porch, and we will finish it ourselves. As you can remember, this will be the view from our screened-in porch. And over there, we have a fire pit, and I will show you that, because that's one of our favorite spots during the evening. And right now, we filled it, and there's some cardboard in it, and we need to put the wood in it. But that's because we've prepared it for the fire we want to create tonight. And also, this pile of branches will go into the fire pit. This is the front of our house, where I've told you that we want to create the screened-in porch. And it's going to look a little bit like this. So I think it's almost scary if you see how accurate AI can be, but well, that's our idea. So yeah, now you have a little bit of an idea what we're planning with the screened-in porch. So now you have a complete overview of what we've done on the outside, but well, if you follow our channel, you already knew most of it. So now it's time for the big review on the inside. And this is the area next to our gate, because the gate is over there. That's where you just came in. And well, there we have the lemon tree, and that's not new. That was already done, because this was how it looked when we bought the farm. And now it looks like this. We have a wood storage, and we have a small granite bench. And behind me we have the door. to our house. And of course, the amazing view over the mountains. This is how it looked before. So you've seen the outside, and now it's time to go into our 100-year-old barn.
So up here we have the wood burner, and over there is our current dining table, but well, as the priorities were outside, we just put two desks together to have a dining table, but in the future we will have a proper dining table. And over here we have the front door. When we bought it, it looked like this. And as you might remember, this is how the kitchen looked when we bought the farm, and this is how it looks today. And as you can clearly see, we are not completely finished yet on the inside, but we're making good progress. And these steps were a little bit strange. The first step was a little small, and then we had a much deeper step. So we cleared the step, and when the concrete needed to dry, our lovely dog Kiyomi walked through it, so that's something that will be in our ground forever. Up here you see the guys welding the metal construction they've made to create the walls on the inside of our house. Here you see the guys preparing our amazing doors and creating the door frame. And we are very happy with these doors because we wanted to add some history to our at least 100-year-old barn. And these are French doors coming out of Egypt, and they are from approximately the year 1890. They are 2 meters 85, and we are really happy that we have these beautiful doors in our house. Well, this is our living room, and over there we have the pellet heater. So during the winter it's nice and cozy up here. And from here we turn to our doors on the side of our house. So first we have a sneak peek into the bedroom, but we will go there within a minute. And yes, we really love our board games. And this door leads to the screened-in porch we want to create, as I told you before. And also from up here we have a beautiful view. And from here we go to the newly built toilet room. And as you can see, we have matching doors to our doors that lead to our bedroom. And first we had this door, but then we couldn't resist to buy the matching ones, and there are two doors that are attached to each other. Seeing the space we have, we thought it was a better idea to create a sliding door than to have two doors open separately. We are not quite finished yet, because the tiles on the wall is not something that we want. But for now it's fine, and changing that is more of an inside job, so that's perfect for during the winter. The house is still filled with furniture we brought with us out of Holland, and the rest we still need to buy. But as you guys know, we were very busy doing it all at once and trying to do things as quick as possible. But we will buy some closets and stuff, but for now it works. We also installed some air conditioning, which will be very nice during the summer. And then we go to the next room. It's quite a mess, yes, we know. But to be honest, the storage is just temporary, because this will be a bathroom. But for now, there are clothes, there's a dryer, there's a little freezer, and there are boxes. So I'll turn around so you can see it from another angle. There will come a closet on both sides of the doors. So that means that the doors will slide between the wall and the closet. That will come there. In the middle there will be a pathway through the closet, through the doors, and therefore there are windows in the doors, because the little blue thingy in the back is going to be a window. So there will come natural light through the bathroom into the bedroom. So that is the idea we have for over here. And here we go back into the living room, past these beautiful doors. We really love them. Into the kitchen and back outside.
So this is it for this week. Thanks for watching the 6 months progress on our homestead. Please do not forget to like and comment on this video, and also please do not forget to subscribe to our channel, because we're just 6 months on the way and we've still some big plans, so make sure you don't miss out on those plans. And well, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.